Hello and welcome to Black Pumps TV. We are so excited, or should I say we are pumped today, because we are going to be talking about stuff that is really relevant and helpful to women, men, children. Today we're in the house of Dr. Nicoline Ambe. She's a renowned speaker, a teacher, and an author.
Yes.
Thank you so much for welcoming us to your home, Nicoline.
Thank you, Noni.
It's okay if I call you Nicoline, right?
Oh, certainly. Always a pleasure.
Yeah. So let's start by what you do. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are?
Yes.
Because I just said you're Dr. Nicoline. So tell us who you are.
Yes, I'm an educator. I'm a special education teacher.
Okay.
And when I'm not teaching, I'm speaking.
Oh.
I'm speaking to parents about how to empower their children at home to become high achievers in school.
High achievers.
Yes.
So parents, that's the key, is becoming high achievers.
Yes.
And I think I was reading one of your books or your blog or where you're saying that you can also use the same method of raising high achievers in also doing your own business, correct?
Yes, certainly, certainly. Yeah. I have a philosophy that principles of high achievers are the same.
Okay.
And I've identified actually 3 important principles that can be applied in school as well as in the business world.
Okay.
And the first is listening.
Listening.
Yes, listening.
That's a tough one, you know?
Yes.
We like to talk. Not listen, yes.
Exactly. But in the classroom, students have to listen to the teacher to learn the information.
Okay.
So same thing in the business world, you have to listen to your customers, listen to your clients, listen to your supervisors to know what it is that they need.
That is so true.
Listening is key. And then asking questions too is very important. When students listen in the classroom, they have to ask questions on the things that they haven't understood.
Okay.
And the same thing in the business world. There's no business without asking.
You have to ask questions.
You have to ask questions. Yes. You have to ask for the sale.
Yes.
You have to ask for what it is that
you have to ask anything for everything, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. If you don't ask, you don't get, right?
You don't get.
The worst you can get is a no.
Exactly. So you got to ask. You got to listen, you got to ask, and you got to do your homework.
It's like LAD lad.
So students have to do their homework, and as a business person, you have to do your homework.
Right. So kind of like you have to prepare. Preparation. So in the business environment, we always say you have to prepare. You know, you don't just wing it, right?
You don't wing it. You don't wing it. You have to learn about how to brand yourself. You have to learn about marketing principles. You have to learn about building a customer base. Okay. So all of that is doing your homework.
Doing your homework.
Yes. So listening, asking questions, and doing your homework are
LAD.
important principles of high achievers.
Oh, that's awesome. And also you have 3 young girls, right?
I do.
Okay.
I have 3 children.
Okay.
I have a 16-year-old. She's in high school, getting ready for the SAT, which I need your help on that, because I know all of your kids have gone through that, so I'm going to need you.
Yes. Somebody said you can write a book on that. I can write a book on how to prepare for college. It's worked. So for background purposes, I also have 3 kids, right? They're much older than your kids.
And they're all high achievers too.
They're all high achievers, yes. I call them overachievers.
Overachievers. A medical doctor, an
no. It's not about my kids today, it's about you. So you have 16-year-old and you have
a 15-year-old whom you just met. And then I have a 10-year-old as well.
The one that sings. She has a powerful voice. She has what's her name again? Bobby. Okay, so that's awesome. So not only are you teaching, but you're also living by examples, because you have your own children that you're going to be raising, that you're raising.
That I'm
correct.
Raising.
Okay. So what is it that, I think I was reading one of your blogs and you have like these philosophies, and one of them is that every child can succeed, correct?
Yes. Do you believe this, Noni?
I do believe that every child is different and every child can succeed. You just have to know how to channel that, right?
Exactly. You need to know how to nurture that, how to fertilize it, how to help them grow into the person that they're capable of being. Just like a rose plant. When the rose withers away, it's not the rose, it's the environment.
It's the environment.
Maybe the soil is dry, the environment is it's the environment.
Right.
So if a child isn't doing well, it's not that they're born like that.
Right.
It's just as parents we have to find other ways to nurture them into who they are meant to be.
I grew up in Nigeria. So growing up in Nigeria, kids were put into buckets.
Right.
She's smart, she's not smart.
Right.
And when I came out here, the first thing that I realized is that it's not the case.
Right.
That every child is capable of succeeding. It's just like you say, depends on the environment, on the nurturing, on what type of assistance that they are getting.
Absolutely.
Especially from their parents. Their parents, it's key. It has to start from their parents, correct?
Exactly. And that's why we should never take our jobs as parents for granted. And sometimes we do. We just get up, go to work, we forget to do basic things that will help our children grow. So it's important that as parents that we're conscious about every experience.
Yes.
We're conscious about every word that we speak. We're conscious about connecting and being present for our children. That's
the key word. The key word is being present, because you can work and still be present.
Exactly.
I know for a fact I worked for most of the time my kids were little, but I was always present.
Right.
I never took a job that would take me away from my children.
Wonderful.
In fact, I remember as I was coming here, I remember one story when I started working for Deloitte. Ugo, my last one, is already 13, but I know that it's a public accounting firm.
Right.
You have to put in the hours. So before I signed the agreement, I said I have a little child at home, and I need to be home. I need to pick him up, and I need to be home by 5:30 every day.
Right.
And so we went to work, and then we're auditing, and then immediately it's 4:30. The partner says, "Okay, you have to go home." And one day I said, I don't really have to go. He's okay. Right. He's like, we have a little child. I said, yeah, he's 13. He's like, what?
so you already put it in his head, and he's already walking with your child.
But he's thinking that this child is a baby. I said, no, he's 13, but I have to be there. So that's about being present. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to illustrate, is that you can still be busy, but you have to be present when it matters.
What about parents who have to work? And
I was working.
Okay, so you just have to draw the boundaries.
You just have to draw the boundaries, because I think that when we started, when I started, my son is older. When I started, it was even a taboo to tell them that you are pregnant, right? Because you can get laid off. But the laws have changed. And a lot of work environment, they are all big on this work-life balance. And so it's for you to establish those boundaries.
Exactly.
I know like people that will say by 2 o'clock I'm leaving because I have to pick up my child. After I pick up my child, I feed my child. I can get back on my laptop and start working again. So it's all about drawing boundaries and knowing what your priorities are.
Exactly. So that has to be important enough for you to bring it up as something that you want honored.
Yes.
In your place of work.
Yes. And when you're doing it, you have to respect it first. Because I have people that will work for me and they're supposed to leave at 3, and then at 5 they're still there. And I'm like, you have to go. You have to respect that.
Exactly.
Before other people can respect it. So it's okay for you to say, I want a flexible work arrangement, but it's another thing that you enforce that flexible work arrangement.
Absolutely.
So coming back to children, so what else do you think that parents should be doing to kind of ignite this passion in their kids to achieve more?
Right. I think it's just continue to encourage them to see the good in them, to see that they're amazing, and then continue to encourage a vision in them.
A vision, yes.
Right. That vision is very, very important, because there's a reason why people do what they do.
Okay.
So help your child see why they're doing what they're doing. Why is it that you're going to school? What is it that you're seeing in your future that school is going to help you get there?
Kind of set an expectation, right? Set an expectation.
And that vision is what is going to pull your child into a wonderful place. So you have to help them be able to find that vision for themselves and encourage them. I know as parents we want our children to pursue a certain path.
Yes, exactly.
Because
be a doctor.
Because we know life is very difficult. Life is hard.
Yes.
People retire with no money. People don't have money for daily expenses. Life is difficult. So you want your child not to go through any kind of challenge when they get older. So we can understand why parents will feel that pressure. But it's important to be vigilant Make sure that you find a good balance between encouragement and helping them.
Yeah,
be
you know,
stable.
which is kind of like the tiger mom idea, right?
Yeah.
Where you tell the child and you push. Having raised 3 kids, I know the 3 children are different,
Right.
and there's a way you encourage each one.
Right.
Okay, some of them
Absolutely.
require constant attention,
Yes.
some don't, right?
Yes, yes.
So, and then one thing
It's pretty interesting, isn't it?
It
How
is.
3 different kids raised by the same mom
Mother,
on
yeah.
the same philosophy
Yeah.
have their own different ideas. for
different,
what
and
they
but you have to channel, you have to meet them at that
Where they
place,
are.
you know, where they are. That's you know, I mean, and one of the things that we did was we let our kids explore.
Okay, wonderful.
So, and I think that exploration is one of the things, you know, that people can encourage their kids to do. Let them play around, let them explore, and
Right.
find out what it is that they
Right.
want to do.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But having an understanding of that end game, what it looks like. This
Right.
is how it looks like, but however you get there.
However you
I
get
honor
there,
it.
however you get there, but you have to expose them. That exposure, you know. I see some parents. I say, "Do you take your kids to vacations?" They're like, "We don't have money for that." I'm like, "It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be expensive. You
Right.
can even make it a staycation.
Right.
You take them to parks. You
Right.
take them to rides. You know,
Right, right,
it doesn't
right.
have to be expensive.
And enjoy the
And
experience.
yes, yeah. Like one parent, I think she took her kids to Santa Monica Pier
Okay.
yesterday night,
Oh.
and I was actually beginning to think about what we're talking about.
Right.
And when I saw that, I said, "Hey, you made one of my points today.
Okay.
You need to have your kids explore and
Exactly.
find this sports, you know, and then play sports, play violin, do whatever it is they have to do." I realize your kids, they all sing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they sing. The last one sings.
Okay.
The other 2, they're more academic.
Academic, okay.
Like mom.
Like, oh, mom is very academic. Well, yeah.
I like to say that I went to school and never left.
Yes.
I've
yes.
always been in education. I enjoy it. But
Yeah.
my last one, not so much. She's
There's something about last born kids, okay?
Wow.
So the last ones, I think they have a way with their moms,
Right.
right?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
They call the shots.
They call the shots. So what
and we just let them have it.
have it
How can
exactly?
we say no?
Exactly. So what other relationship advice do you have for parents on how to nurture these kids? You know, we've talked about expectations. We shouldn't set very low expectations,
Right.
you know, but we shouldn't make it
Too high as
too
well.
high. You know.
Too high as
Yeah.
well. I think communication, sitting with your child every day. How was your day today? What
Yes.
happened to you at
Yes,
school?
yes.
What happened in your class?
Yes. Yes.
You know, just having conversations
Yes.
and building that connection is very important. And then
Yeah.
asking them, where do you see yourself 5 years from today? What are your plans?
Yeah.
Did your goals change
Yeah.
from last year? Nothing that puts pressure, but that's driving to a point, but not in a very,
Right.
deep
But they should
way.
also always know that there's an expectation,
There is,
right?
right.
That there is an, especially, you know, for us, we're all Africans, right? I'm sure your child never thinks about, is college an option? That's not a question, right?
No, it's
You know,
not a
so
question.
we continue to have to set some expectations.
Right,
That they can reach, yeah.
certainly. You know, and life is too short. It's so important that we consciously think about building good, loving relationships.
Right.
I'm personally very conscious about that.
Okay.
How to connect more with my kids, how
Yes.
to just value them and
Yeah.
enjoy the experience
Yeah.
before they leave to go to college. And even after they're out of the home,
Yeah.
finding ways to connect. That's just what life is about.
Yes.
When we go out to look for money, when we go out to work, we do it so we can support our family.
Yes.
So that relationship is key.
It's very, very
Nurturing
key.
it is very important.
I think
Don't
so.
you think so?
Oh no, I know so because I have to be connected with my children. I have a lot of stories
I know how
because
much
my
you love
kids
your
are
kids.
all grown, right? So I have a lot of stories. Like I remember my last one, right? 10 p.m. every day, no matter where it is, my phone rings. I say it's Ugo. And it's him, because that's the type of relationship we have. You have to be friends with them and at the same time parents, right?
Absolutely.
I'd always say parents first and then friends second.
Absolutely.
So what other ideas that you have for parents? Let's say there was one that you put on your Facebook page. I was going to ask you. There was a question you put on your Facebook page about this girl.
About Defiant Kids. Is that
Yes,
the one?
yes,
Kids
yes.
who are rude to their parents.
Yes.
How do you handle that?
How do you handle that? What was the consensus on that?
I know. There were I got about 130 comments on that.
Yeah.
And it was all over the place.
Yeah.
That really tells you that.
I remember I saw one that's Cameroon.
So the question was, how do you discipline your child when they're rude to you? Not discipline, that word.
Yeah.
It's a tricky word, but how do you handle a child who is rude and defiant to you as a parent?
Yeah.
And I think just based on those responses, you can tell that it depends on who the child is.
Yes.
It depends on your family values.
Yes.
It depends on who you are as a parent.
Yes.
There's no hard and fast rule.
Yes.
So everybody has their own ways of discipline. That's what I got from that.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I think first you nip it in the bud. If it starts early when they're 4, 5, 6, cut it right there. Secondly, building that connection with them. When a child is connected to you and you appear to be their role model, they won't want to disrespect you. So that's why we keep going back to that relationship connection.
But isn't there because I read some of them, and isn't there a little bit of, we are Africans.
Right.
I was raised in Nigeria.
Right.
We were taught not to talk back at your parents, not to do all that, and we grew up like that.
Right.
But then when you come here, when you're raising your child, and you're actually allowing them to explore, you're allowing them to be themselves,
to express themselves. Yeah.
I think there's a little bit, maybe it's a fine line between being rude and not being rude, because kids will talk back at you. I have kids.
I think it's something that's strange to us, but it's not strange.
Right.
It's just a way of communicating, and it depends too on how they're talking back.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So I think we should be able to honor their voice as well.
Yes.
And if it's not rude or defiant, then we should be able to honor it.
Yeah.
For us, it might appear, oh my gosh, because that's the culture we come from.
Yes.
But it may not be necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, because sometimes they do have good opinions too, and they